Star Wars, Mando, Star Wars, Boba Fett, Star Wars, Boba Fett, Djarin, Mando, Star Wars, Boba Fett, Djarin, Mando, Star Wars. You recall that I fell into a smelly sarlacc pit, but its digestive tract in the end would not commit. Mando and Boba Fett, the original badasses. Boba Fett, Djarin, Mando, Star Wars.
Happy creative stuff.
Hi, and welcome to another exciting edition of Happy Creative Stuff. She's Bubbles.
I'm Bubbles.
And I'm Boomer. Okay, so that was Boba Fett and Djarin, the Mandalorian musical. If you would like to see more animated musical parodies or retro gaming content, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, give us a thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up. That's always a good idea.
So we played a bunch of retro Star Wars games looking for appearances of Boba Fett and Mandalorians, and boy was it slim pickings, that's what I can tell you. So first we played the Super Nintendo Star Wars games, and these games on the surface have really good artwork, really great sprites, they have stuff from the movies for the most part, so they seem to be really great, but they had a lot of issues. What did you think of the first Super Nintendo Star Wars game, Bubbles?
I can't remember the game at all.
The first one
I
was...
think it was so horrible that my brain just switched it off.
Wasn't that bad? Okay, it was...
To me, I couldn't see anything.
No, the first one was the one with... I'm talking about the one we played like over a week ago. The one with Luke, where Luke Skywalker had the blaster and everything on the planet was just trying to take you out.
Yeah, I remember. I couldn't really look at that game at all, so... I think it didn't have anything to do with Star Wars except that it was Luke.
Yeah, it seemed like they made the level super long and there were so many other things going on. That it was just like the whole planet evolved to try and take you out.
They were riding squid fins or something. I can't remember.
There were bats flying, there were
bats.
warthogs.
There were warthogs, that's the thing.
And then we played, on that game, the trick was, if you kept upgrading your blaster, they would just keep that upgrade for the whole game. So if you could survive it in one go, you would just be OP. But if you lost a life at any point during the game, you would restart with your basic blaster and have no chance to finish the level, basically.
Yeah.
So then they made the second game, which was very similar. They improved on it slightly, but in this game, you only got blaster upgrades if you were using the blaster. So if you used Luke's lightsaber, you would run into a dead end eventually, and I had to restart the game and play it with the blaster.
Yeah. So the thing that was actually from Star Wars did not work.
Yeah,
In other words.
It's deceptive. So once again, on the second game, there were way too many enemies. It was a frustrating slog. It was even more difficult than the first one. And when I replayed it, I've learned a few things. And you have to train on Dagobah to get Luke's lightsaber powers, his force powers. And somehow I did it wrong, because the first time I played I got 0, then I restarted the game and I only got 1 power. But that power was all I needed, and that was the healing ability, which really turned the game around in a big way. And after that, honestly, the last few levels were quite enjoyable. Mm-hmm. It was the only Super Nintendo game that had an appearance by Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. And what they did on that level that was cool, besides Boba Fett, all the enemies were inspired by bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that was a cool part of it. Boba Fett himself was a nice 2D sprite. We looked at that footage again last night just to refresh our memories. Mm-hmm. And then after Empire Strikes Back, we moved on to Return of the Jedi, which I actually bought as a teenager. I was going to buy Super Star Wars, and luckily the guy who worked there said, no, let's get you Super Return of the Jedi. So that was a lucky break for me.
I remember that story.
Yeah, I told you once before. Return of the Jedi was a way more enjoyable game. For a change, you could manage it, you could play it, you could actually fight the enemies and be strategic about it. It wasn't like everything was just flying at you all at the same time.
Yeah.
The one frustrating thing that all of these games have, though, is when you push jump, there's a slight delay. It's like because they crouch before they jump, and it ends up causing you to run off a lot of platforms when you're trying to jump instead. So in Return of the Jedi, oddly enough, there was no appearance of Boba Fett. No, even on Jabba's sail barge, you fight some other mutant alien thing, but you don't actually get to fight Boba Fett, which is bizarre.
Oh.
Okay, so then we moved on to the arcade Star Wars games. Most of them were old and did not have any Boba Fett content, but they were fun in a way. Like they're a relic of their time, I would say. You had the 3D games with the green lines and no texturing on the panels.
Yeah.
Those are a good time. They're different.
Yeah, they're a good time.
And then on the third one, they abandoned the 3D look and they went with a 2D diagonal scrolling mechanic.
Yeah.
And that game is charming as heck. Like, it is really a fun time. I think you also enjoyed that one more. You could actually look at that one without getting motion sick.
This last one, did we
Yes.
play?
No, the one that was with the speeder bike that was it was cute, and Chewbacca was in the
The
AT-AT.
green and yellow plain one that didn't have any blocks. Yes, I
Yes.
love that one. I could see that one.
And
That was adorable. I think I could play that one.
so there's a really cute scene in that Return of the Jedi arcade where you have Chewie in the chicken walker,
Yes.
and then they juxtapose that with the battle before the Death Star, where you have the Millennium Falcon and X-Wing escorts flying. And I thought that was a really nice touch to have this strange element of the time and juxtaposition happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
That game's quite difficult though, so I only got to that stage once during our recent playthrough, and I'll try that again. And lastly, we played the the most modern arcade Star Wars trilogy. There was another game in between that isn't very well known. It does not feature Boba Fett, and I'm dropping in some footage of it right now, and it's cool, but it's not quite. It's in between. It's not quite the last game. It's not quite the first games. It's not as classic as the first games, and it's not as advanced as the most
Are you
recent
talking
one.
about the 3D one?
The controls on that one were really difficult to set up. The original arcade had 2 joysticks, and you could pay twice and then use one to aim and one to fly, or you could use the same one for both. It just wasn't working for me. The last one we actually played at a real arcade recently. And that game has just incredible graphics and animation compared to all the others. And the music will get you a copyright strike for sure, because it's literally the music from the movie. But you enjoyed looking at that one, correct, Bubbles?
That was beautiful, but I think I enjoyed it just because I knew it. You know what I mean?
It seems very accurate to the film content.
No, but I mean the arcade. I know from the arcade.
Oh, yes?
Sorry, people are gonna hate me for this, but I don't like Star Wars. So I just liked it because we played it at the arcade and it was fun, and I remember it because I played it as well. It wasn't just you who played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool
So I
stuff.
was like, it seemed familiar. So I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna look at it. And it was 3D, so it was cool.
Nice.
The trees looked real.
Also, the levels, I feel like on the Super Nintendo games especially, the levels were just extended to be super long. Just repetition.
Horrible.
And this most recent game felt like it had a lot of fidelity to the source material. It kept the levels short, it was fun, it was adventurous, and that Darth Vader and Boba Fett fight was amazing.
That was really cool.
So we only got 2 appearances of Boba Fett out of all of this. And which one was your favorite, Bubbles, based on the Super Nintendo one where he was flying around 2D, or the 3D one in the Star Wars Trilogy arcade?
The last one.
The last one.
Because it looked more like Boba Fett.
That's true. The other one had the wrong color scheme for some reason. I know that the Super Nintendo had limited colors, but they made him orange, which was odd.
Yeah, he's not orange.
I think like a green and dark red could have been better. They had the green in there though. And there was a fight with Chewbacca for his spaceship. I forgot about that.
That was cute.
Yeah, but Chewbacca has this move where he spins and punches everything, which was the most effective way to take it down. So
Nice.
that's odd. I mean,
It's weird.
yeah, it's weird. Like, just get your Wookiee dog friend to co-punch the spaceship. That's how you take it out.
Since when is Chewie a dog?
I'm joking. It's from Spaceballs. They made fun of him.
No.
That's why I didn't get a medal, because dogs don't get medals.
Dogs do. Have you seen dog shows?
That's true, actually. But they gave him a medal in the recent trilogy that we will not speak of.
No, the one that does not exist.
Yes, like I was going to give an opinion and then I decided to not give an opinion. Let's just pretend it never happened. Except for the medal that Chewie got. That part was great.
Yeah, that one can stay forever. The rest ain't.
Okay. Okay, so if you want to see more animated parodies, animated musical parodies, or more retro gaming content, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon, and give us a thumbs up.
Again, thumbs ups are good. Even thumbs downs. I mean, it's an algorithm.
Oh yeah,
Interactions.
It's interaction. If we can infuriate you enough to give us a thumbs down, go for it. We'll see you on the next exciting edition of Happy Creative Stuff. She's Bubbles.
I'm Bubbles.
And I'm Boomer.
Bye.
Happy creative stuff.
3, 2, 1. Hi, and welcome to another exciting edition of Happy Creative Stuff. What, did it not work?
I think I clicked it too slow. Because it does work, I just did it. It's fine. Let's continue.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go again.
It really does. It really does help.
Bubbles is actually a little bit under the weather today, but we're pushing through because we have a deadline.
I don't know why you're saying this. You're gonna cut it out anyway.
No, I'm not going to cut it out.
Okay.